Hi guys, it's Jo Melody here and welcome back to my channel. Today I might be in my workout gear, but we're actually not going to work out today. Today you're in my kitchen because we're going to be doing some baking because life has got to have a little bit of balance, so there is no workouts without brownies. So today we are going to be making a 1 bowl Biscoff brownie recipe. Really easy. So if you don't have much kit, you just want to throw together some brownies, have something really delicious in the house, and they look so aesthetically pleasing and they're so unbelievably easy to make. So come with me, follow along. We're going to be getting into these brownies ASAP and I cannot wait to show you how easy these are. So we're going to start off just by preheating the oven. We are looking for about 170 degrees on your oven, and we're going to make sure to line a baking tray as well. Now when you're making brownies, you really want a metal baking tray. You can use glass or ceramic, but metal is better because it conducts the heat better and it helps you to get a more even bake all the way through your brownie. Now here is the best tip for lining your baking trays. At the corners, you're going to get some scissors and just cut diagonally into the corners like I'm doing here. Slot it down. It won't get all that like awkward crumpling at the sides. You'll just be able to slot it right down into your tin and it will fit absolutely perfectly. Another hack for keeping that baking parchment down, you just want to get your stick of butter that you're about to use for the recipe and you want to just rub it all over the bottom of the tin and around the sides and basically everywhere. Just rub the butter all over everywhere and just make sure that it covers the entire base of the tray. Then when you push your baking parchment in, you'll find that it sticks really nicely to the butter and it just holds it down and in place. Moving on to the actual brownie, we're going to start off by putting 110 grams of unsalted butter into the microwave to melt it. Whilst that's melting, you're going to grab your bowl that you're going to use and we're going to pour into this our cocoa powder, which we are going for 45 grams, and we're also going to pour in our sugar, which we are looking for about 150 grams, so between 120 grams to 200 grams depending on how sweet you like it. I don't really like it too sweet. Even 150 grams is a bit too sweet for me, but gotta do what we gotta do. I'm baking for other people, so you're going for plain white caster sugar here. We're just pouring in 150 grams into that cocoa powder. After this, we want to go and grab our melted butter, whisk that together or combine it together. I'm simply just going to use a fork to combine these two together and just make sure that they are super combined and as combined as you can possibly get them. Then this step is a little bit of an optional added step. Make a coffee in the background. A really small one, you're only looking for about 10 milliliters. In the meantime, whilst the coffee is boiling, you're going to be combining 60 grams of yogurt and egg into your mixture. We're then going to be combining all of that together with the sugar and cocoa powder mix, and also we're going to add that coffee in as well. So it's only about 10 milliliters of coffee. I've used about 1.5 teaspoons of the coffee granules, but you can use as much or as little as you want depending on how strong you want that flavour to be. Coffee essentially helps to bring out chocolate flavour, and the combination of the two makes the chocolate flavour a lot richer, so that's the reason for that. Anyways, we're combining all of this together, again looking to not over mix, so just looking to combine both together, and you should find it's a little bit more silky smooth now. So the batter you're left with, again, dark rich chocolate colour but quite silky smooth. We are now going to add in the drier ingredients. So here we're going for flour and salt. Now if you use salted butter instead of unsalted butter, then leave out the salt at this stage. If you use unsalted butter, then you're going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt, and no matter what, you're going to add in 30 grams of plain flour. So not too much, just add this into the bowl. Again, if you have time and energy, you can sieve the flour, but I am lazy and don't care about that, so I'm just going to add it in straight as is, and then again combining. Again, specifically, we really don't want to overmix, so literally just combining the ingredients together so they are combined but not over combining. You just want to mix so that you get this really smooth batter now. So now we're looking for no lumps, no sugar bits left, everything to be really combined together. And again, you can use a whisk, or again, if you like me, limited resources, a fork will absolutely do. So this is the texture we were looking for. So next stage is the fillings. Now really you can play around with this, but they are Biscoff brownies, and I've bought a whole pack of Biscoffs, so we might as well use some of those. So we're going to go for 5 Biscoff biscuits, and we're going to break those up. So we're going to break up 5 of them, crush them together, and combine this into the mix. You could though mix up this recipe and use bourbons or custard creams or whatever type of biscuit, but it gives a really nice crunch to it when you just break them up inside of the batter. Try go for some small chunks, some bigger chunks, but crushing up 5 of them all the way into the batter here. You can also add any other fillings at this stage that you want to. So I've also added here 50 grams of, you'll never guess, this is a leftover Easter egg. Yeah, I know, Easter, that was about 2 years ago. But oopsie, I don't eat chocolate that often. So this is a leftover Nomo chocolate Easter egg, which is one that has no dairy or anything like that. So that's what I'm adding in there, just to give a bit of melty chocolate inside of your brownie. But you could add anything. You could add white chocolate, you could add dark chocolate, you could add crunchy chunks, you could add literally whatever you want. Again, I've added roughly 50 grams, but you could add as much or as little as you want, depending on how chunky funky you want that brownie to come out as, basically. We are then going to head over to our pan, and again, you can pick the pan based on how thick you want the brownie. So I wanted to make quite a few thin brownies, but you could use a smaller pan and you can make thicker ones, or you could double this recipe and make chunkier ones. It's completely up to you. You're going to pour that mixture into your lined tray, making sure to get it into every single corner, making sure that it's nice and flat across the board. And then here comes the fun part. So to make these into Biscoff brick brownies, which is what these are, we're going to lay the Biscoffs along the edge, slightly pressing them down into the mixture, and so they're lined beautifully next to each other. For me, I managed to fit 10 on here. So I was making 10 brownies overall, and it should look a little something like this. Exactly like a brick house, but with Biscoffs. We're then going to chuck these into the oven in the center, just popping them in, and we're going to leave these in for 17 minutes. Very precise, but we don't want to overbake these, otherwise they'll not come out fudgy, they'll come out dry as hell. So once it's been 17 minutes, I'm going to take these out, and I'm going to pop them over to cool. So they should be looking really, really nice on top. Should be looking quite dry on top and not too much jiggle to them either. I recommend leaving them for as long as you can, to be honest, but it's pretty hard with how good they smell, so leave them for as long as you possibly can. We are then going to give them a little bit of a chop up, so it's really easy with the brownies looking like this to chop them up, because the Biscoffs literally tell you where to chop. So again, cutting them into literal bricks, and again, just being careful not do too much damage, because they will be very, very fudgy and quite delicate. So we're just going to slice up these brownies, and then you can lay them out as gorgeously as you'd like, depending on what the reason is you're making them. I'm going to be honest with you, these were scoffed pretty quickly after they were made, so I'm not going to lie, the delicate laying of them out was not really worth my time. And then you can also go ahead and reheat them before you eat them as well, so if you want them to be a little bit gooey warm, but these will make you the perfect shaped sized brownies, the beautiful Biscoff brick brownie. You are all done, taking no time at all, and they just look so aesthetically pleasing, or at least I think so. Let me know if you agree. That is the easiest, quickest, tastiest brownies you're ever going to make, and you've got enough to share with friends or eat all to yourself, probably like I'm going to. Make sure to send me some pictures of you making them as well, and also make sure to like and subscribe to my channel to see other recipes and other content from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Can't wait to see you in the next one, and make sure to subscribe for more.